When you say he gets a whooping and he uses closed fists, does he only use a closed fist with him? Or what does a whooping look like for...
I've seen him punching me.
This is 25-year-old Bianca Blaise, regarding the death of her 6-year-old son. The family, including 6 children ranging from 10 months to 6 years old, was living in a single motel room at the Knight's Inn.
What prompts you to come out of the bathroom?
Because of him screaming so loud.
You say him, you mean
Larry.
Larry? Do you know what he was screaming at that point?
The case happened in Kissimmee, Florida. Bianca called 911, reporting that her son had drowned while drinking water from the toilet. When deputies arrived, they found the boy unconscious with no pulse. But the truth was far worse. An investigation revealed that both parents beat after finding him drinking from the toilet. First was Bianca, then Larry Rhodes, repeatedly with a closed fist. The boy suffered a brain bleed and a lacerated liver, dying days later in the hospital. In the end of this, the most chilling interrogation, you will find out which sentences they got.
I'm investigating what happened to Sergio and the boys, and I was hoping that you could tell me, what happened to Sergio the other day.
I just caught him in the bathroom drinking the water. And I sent him out of the bathroom. I was getting ready to use the bathroom. I sent him out the bathroom. I told him to go to the corner. His dad had jumped out of his sleep. And he stopped him from going. And he questioned him on what he was doing. And he punched him in his chest. Punched him in his chest like twice. And then when he came out of the bathroom, he on the floor and I screamed at him. I just didn't what happened. And he picked him up and he said, he's okay. And he took him to the bathroom and he turned on the shower. Turn on the shower against so you get the cool water to shower him to get little state feet. And I panicked and he walked right back out of the bathroom and he told me to call the ambulance.
Did you call 911, right? Did you see when you say who hit Sergio?
Yeah.
What's his name?
Larry.
Larry? Is that your boyfriend that you've been with a long time?
Mm-hmm.
Did you see him hit Sergio?
I've seen him punch him, yes.
Mm-hmm. And how many times did he punch him?
It's about twice.
Yeah.
And then he slapped him in his face. That was before the punches.
So he slapped him and then punched him, or punched him and then slapped him?
He slapped him and then he punched him. And after one of the punches, after the second punch, Sergio fell backwards and he had this sigh. And I started screaming, what happened? And I started screaming, what happened? And he picked him up. He carried him to the bathroom. And he turned on the shower. As he was walking to the bathroom, he said that Sergio was fine. And came back out and called an ambulance.
When you say that Larry carried Sergio to the bathroom, how did he do that?
Picked him up from the floor and everything else.
Do you remember how he was?
How
he was carrying him?
He had his 2 arms. He carried.
You saw Sergio saying anything at this time?
Mm-hmm.
No. Was Sergio still awake? No.
I heard a state side come from him. I know that's something that's around.
Where were all the other kids when this happened?
They were in a room, they were laying down.
Were they all laying down in
the floor, steady sleeping.
And which one was that again? The one closest to the door or to the bathroom?
The bathroom.
By the bathroom. Is this the first time you've ever seen Larry hit Sergio or any of his siblings?
Mm-hmm. He does it often.
Yeah, can you kind of tell me about that?
When they do stuff that he feels like it's he feels like they're misbehaving, he hurts them. And at times he definitely takes it too far. And he can be very abusive.
When you say he takes it too far and he's abusive, what does that mean to you?
It could be small things, and he still had to. If they don't eat, like if they take their time eating, it'll make him mad. Like scream at him to eat.
Has he ever hit you? Can you tell me a little bit about that?
To try to say something about him being kids. His hand on me.
What does that mean?
He would like hit me. He would touch me.
About how many times do you think that's happened?
Couple.
Any since you've come to Kissimmee?
Yes.
How many times?
Thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it a little.
It's from being punched in my hand.
When did he do that?
And like, I don't know the exact date, but time I said something about him hitting the kids, he would go on about position and like it would piss it. And I told him about this, and he got mad, and he
Is your hand? Do you need medical attention for your hand?
hurt me.
Is it okay if I look at it again? How long ago do you think that happened? Were you staying at the Knights Inn already, or were you at the other hotel?
I had the night thing and started at that time.
Yeah. Is that when everything started? And when did you move there again?
Maybe late April.
Just like April? Had he ever used violence before you guys moved to the Knights Inn at the end of April? Have you ever been violent with you or hit you or?
Not like when we came up to Orlando, but living in where our house was, he has moved violence.
Can you tell me about those instances?
He moved out that I was cheating or something like that. I was pregnant. So when he came home, he was like over me. He burst up around and he hit me. He punched me. He hit me. And then he said he was leaving, but he ended up not leaving. And then after I gave birth, I don't remember what we were arguing about. He hit me on it. I was very sore.
Did you go get medical attention for that? Was he doctor? Why not?
I was scared. Yeah. He could be very controlling sometimes.
Has he always been like that in your relationship? Yeah. How's that make you feel?
He's always afraid.
Are you still afraid of him? Yeah. When I kind of want to go back and talk about some of the kids and how he disciplines the kids. So I'd like to start with the youngest. Can you kind of tell me how he typically, does he ever discipline?
At times, like, he would cry, and he would call it whining, but I always told him that baby doesn't cry for any reason, baby doesn't whine for any reason. But what's with him, he always says that he doesn't, he's not gonna raise sissies. And stuff. And he has, like, took his hand and he hit.
Do you know how got the mark on his eye?
That hit me.
Have you ever seen him hit him in the face or anything like that?
No, I was in his back.
When he hits him on his back, what does he use anything or?
He uses hands. He has these very huge hands in here.
What about the bruise on his chest? Have you seen that before? Before I showed you the picture the other day? No. Did Larry ever mention anything to you about acting out, him having to, or him hitting him or anything like that? No. What about How about them? How does he ever have to discipline them?
Yeah, I've seen him whoop them on their butt a few times. He uses his hand.
What would he have to spank them for? Whoop them.
And them not eating.
Do they not like to eat?
They eat, it's just, when they eat the same thing, like often they don't like to eat it as much. So,
Do you know? You have to forgive me because I don't remember. That has the bruise on her face. Do you know how she got that? When we had originally spoke, you had mentioned that maybe the sisters had hit each other. Do you think is that a possibility, or do you think it came from him? Is there a reason why your opinion on how that may have happened changed?
They do fight a lot, but
When was the last time you saw her? Saw him?
I don't know the exact date, but I remember him off my phone. And they were supposed to eat. They were supposed to be eating peanut butter jelly sandwich. And one of them, I can't remember exactly which, but she was like, she took like one bite and she was eating some. And then he screamed at her to eat. And they, when they're like, when they feel like they're afraid, they like don't move. Well, she had the sandwich to her mouth, and she made like she was eating. And then he screamed at her to eat again, and then she didn't eat, and then he grabbed her away and go past with his hand.
Do you remember how long ago that was?
Probably like 2 weeks.
Maybe 2 weeks. Have you ever seen him discipline the twins in any other way? What about sorry.
The boys gave me say she's not been raised any 6 years. Or the head boy and the girl like BITC just
You can say the word, it's okay.
it just like he would use clothes fishing. He would like punch them and he would like slap them as well.
Why would he do that?
They always used to say that growing up that he would straight start women and his mom and them used to do him the same way.
So I want to talk about like specifically, how does he deal with specifically? I know you said like sometimes he hits the boys. Are you referring to all the boys or just some of the boys? Older ones or the older ones? Okay. So for you said that he sometimes punches him and things like that. Have you ever seen him use anything other than his hands?
Needs the shoe.
The shoe? Can you tell me about when he's used the shoe?
I've seen him with him about probably 12 feet to shoot, especially and then broke his skin on his bottom. And the other like it comes from being hit with the shoe and things about it strips the skin.
Wow. How long ago did he cause the marks on his legs? Did Larry cause the marks on his legs?
I'm not sure how long, but it's just most likely recent.
What about the marks on his bottom?
Probably within a week.
Within a week? Do you know? I know those pictures were hard to look at the other day, but do you remember looking at those pictures when we were talking about some of the injuries? Huh? Do you remember how he got any of the bruising on his face?
Sometimes they do like to fight and
Who's they?
his rebels. Their dad, he likes to hit them a lot as well.
The day got hurt. When we first spoke, you mentioned that was doing something else. He wasn't laying with his siblings. Do you remember?
He had pee in the boat, so he was in pain.
How long had he been in the corner? Do you know?
I'm not for sure how long I had left it. I came back. I had football dress test. When I left, he was in there probably like, when I left, it was probably like 5 minutes then. And then I came back to the study center.
How long were you gone, do you think?
Well, I left twice. I had to look for like 2 different locations and then I came back and then like again. So I was probably gone for time, probably like 35 minutes.
How long after you got home was it before Sergio got hurt?
Like 15 minutes.
When you got home, was still in the corner. Let's talk about how is disciplined.
The same way. He doesn't really like do much. At times he's in the bed. And when he does, he get a whooping. And their dad was like, oh, it hits. He uses those physical things.
Have you seen him, when you say he gets a whooping and he uses closed fists, does he only use a closed fist with him? Or what does a whooping look like for
Like he would like punch them or he had his hand slap them.
how many times have you seen him give a whooping to
Like a couple of 2 or 3 times.
here while you're up in Orlando or back home?
Up here.
Up here. But how long ago do you think?
Everything is like, within 2 weeks.
Let's talk about Sergio. I know we already talked about him a little, but what is when Sergio gets in trouble? What typically happens?
The same thing. He gets that. He get hit with clothes for food. Dad has hit him with the shoe for the door.
So he uses a shoe or he slaps him. For how long has that been going on?
This only 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Was this not normal, typical discipline style for Larry up until recently, or how did he use to discipline?
Usually he would put them in the corner. He'd like make them squat. Like do like exercise moves and stuff like that.
What do you think changed?
He's usually on medication. He came right out of medication. He thinks like, and then for he hasn't been there.
Have you noticed a change in his behavior or his personality, or what has changed? Do you think?
He calls it and calls any of that.
He calls you a name a lot.
At my name. He gets like very aggressive.
So you mentioned before that he doesn't sleep well. Does he normally sleep during the day or at night?
He doesn't sleep, but when he does sleep, it would be like probably like he was like just resting his eye.
Is it normal for him to just jump up out of bed if something happens?
He's always in the
So the day that Wednesday or Tuesday, you said he like jumped up out of bed. Do you know where Sergio was at when Larry jumped up out of bed?
He was in front of the dresser.
He was in front of the dresser, and Larry was in his bed. So then he jumps up out of bed. So I just want to go step by step. So you're in the bathroom. How long do you think you're in the bathroom? Okay, what prompts you to come out of the bathroom?
He's screaming so loud.
You say him, you mean Larry? Do you know what he was screaming at that point?
Like basically trying to find out what Sergio was drinking and water in the bathroom. So. He slapped him, Sergio fell back. And then he made Sergio stand back up and he threw his chest. And after like the second punch, Sergio, and he fell back. It was like, I was like very painful. And usually, I walked over and that afternoon. He said that Sergio was fine, and then he took him to the bathroom, turned on the shower. And he came right back out, and he says the thought he went.
When you saw Sergio on the ground, was there anything? What was he wearing? Do you remember?
Yeah, black pants and he didn't have a shirt on.
I'm sure one. Could you, when you carried him to the bathroom, could you see any marks on Sergio? No. Was Larry saying anything else as he took him to the bathroom? Did you ever go into the bathroom while Larry and were in the bathroom? No. How long do you think they were in there before he yelled for you to call 911?
He went in and he turned off the shower and he came right back out. And he told him a couple of seconds.
Did he have Sergio with him when he came out of the bathroom to tell you to call police?
He had him inside.
Do you know how he was holding him?
Yeah.
Was Sergio like alert at that point? Was Sergio talking or saying anything? No. Tell me what happened once the. So you call 911 and then walk me through what happened. So you're on the phone with 911 and what is Larry doing?
He was panicking. He was scared. Yeah. He was screaming to call the police and he started to do CPR and he was like calling like trying to like where and he started doing CPR. So he was spitting with a lot of water. He was like very afraid and he was screaming.
Was he just screaming or was he like yelling things?
He was yelling. He's like, thank you. Come on, my boy.
So then what happens?
He basically did CPR until until the people came to the door and he took over.
What happened when the police got there? So the police come to your door, right? What happens when the police come to the door? What did everybody do?
They came into the room, the kids were out. They came into the room and they were trying to continue the CPR. And when the kids were up, most of them, they heard everyone else doing that with me. Larry was still panicking when he had sat on the bed. They stayed him onto the bed. They were trying to do the CPR. And he was on the bed and he was like calling Sergio's name and he was clapping. He was like, save my son, save my son, save my boy.
Okay, then what happens?
I remember they took him to the emergency truck and I tried to go with him and he told me that I couldn't go. Then we went back to the room. I was trying to, he said to get the kids ready. We were going to all try to go to the hospital. And they told us that we couldn't leave him there. And then they separated me and the kids from him.
When the police got there, and before they got there, had you seen the injuries on? Did you happen to ask or any of the other kids, how they ever got their injuries? No. Did Larry ever tell you how they got their injuries?
No. He would like say when they like misbehaved here and here. Like certain stuff that they did do, he told me. But they never said anything. And it was hard for me to like get them alone because he was always like correcting on his shoulders.
Have you ever expressed any of your concerns or told any of your family members about Larry's behavior?
Yes. During the course of being together, we stayed with his family, my family. So they've witnessed it before.
You hear the stuff with the kids.
I told my mom.
Did your mom ask why you wanted to come back to West Palm? We're talking about like marks and bruises and stuff. I noticed that some of your kids had scars, like scars on his chest. Do you know what those are from?
No, but most likely being hit with tissue. You have the next to
Did Larry always use the same shoe? What did that shoe look like?
Interrogation.
A shoe?
It's a wooden shoe. It doesn't have the like straps and stuff. It's like just a plain shoe.
Is it like a tennis shoe? Is it like a small,
Like a sandal.
like a sandal? Did he only ever use that one, or did he use other ones? Have you ever seen him? You know, you mentioned that he was, hitting them hard enough that it was like tearing the skin. Have you ever seen the being hit by Larry?
A few times, yes, and he looked like he's in hydrogen peroxide and stuff to clean it up and put Band-Aids on it.
You went like this with the hydrogen peroxide to see.
It's like the spray.
And where's that normally kept?
It's everywhere. Probably in the bathroom. And helping drinks sometimes.
Oh, would you say that have you ever seen him make weed? No. What about the twins? What about
From opens, yes.
yeah, from whoopings? How many times do you think that's happened?
He has been with the show that they definitely they get hurt when they hit with the shoe.
And how do they respond to that? Or how does they respond to getting hit with the shoe?
He cried.
Were they ever enough to? Was it just a little bit of, or what was it?
Just a little.
Just a little. Because you were being open.
And then we'll do it to me. And we'll just let me know. And so for that. And that was a lot.
Any other times?
Recently.
Did you ever feel that because of the whoopings at any point that any of the kids needed to go to the doctor?
Yes.
Is there any reason why you didn't try to take them to a doctor?
Every time I tried to leave, he would take the keys. He was very controlling.
Was there one kid, or which kids do you think he was the hardest on?
Sergio.
Have you ever seen Sergio get hit to the point that, like, he lay down on his back this time, and he went like unconscious? Have you ever seen him go unconscious before? What about any of the other kids? Did the kids ever get blood on their clothing? Which kids?
It depends on, like, on their pants from their butt.
Ever have it on any other items of clothing?
On their shirts.
No. Do you know what size shirt and shorts? Where's
3T.
3T? What about Serge?
14.
You do have 5 kids that are still in the hospital. DCF is making sure they're safe right now, okay? Because obviously, fortunately, you're incarcerated, so I want to make sure that they're safe, and DCF does that. And they're working on making sure that they find a safe home, whether that's with family or whoever for right now, okay? And obviously, that house. And your mom is able to, make arrangements with family and stuff. If you could tell your kids anything, what would you tell them?
I had to look, and when I was going to try to get them out of situation that he seems to be
Why do you feel like you don't fit down? How come when the deputies first got there to help, you didn't tell us what happened?
I'm scared.
What were you scared of?
Mary.
What specifically, though? What made you scared of Larry?
It's weird. Mary. It's weird.
What do you think would have happened if you would have told us?
The investigator asks a pivotal question. Why didn't you tell the truth when deputies first arrived? Bianca's answer comes in fragments, revealing the psychological grip of coercive control. Fear has not only silenced her, but also distorted her perception of agency. She believes that speaking up would have endangered her even more. This moment captures the internal conflict of a survivor who has been systematically isolated and intimidated, where silence feels like the only safe option.
I will call somebody out and some days of it.
What do you mean by that? Has he ever done that before? In which way? You try.
One time, his best friend died, and my daughter was in jail. He had something film close to me. So we have that. His best friend had it on that, just and then never had that message with that helpful represent the best. And he said that he said it was like prior to getting a message from there. And he had told her, like, it was like something like something to him. And he was like, so it was never about trying to review what that last sentence to. So we did ask him, I said, how somebody like a pain, such a thing.
What do you think he means by that?
Yeah, someone hurting bad.
Yeah. Do you think he's capable of that?
His colleague just in jail from
Is your brother? Your brother's still currently in jail? Yeah.
Until it is right after that. I was like protective custody for myself.
So, like, what are you thinking? Kind of like on the movies, like witness protection stuff. We don't do that at the sheriff's office. But there is, like at the jail, I could, if you don't feel safe at the jail, we could put you in protected custody at the jail. If you if you don't feel safe there for any reason, even there, he should have no contact at the jail. You shouldn't be able to talk or anything, so he shouldn't be able to threaten you or hurt you or try to intimidate you or anything. He is still currently confined. He is still at Osceola County Jail, so he's not getting out. He has a bond like you do. But I mean, somebody has to go place that bond. Of course, I can never make any promises, and I don't ever want to make a promise to you that I can't keep. But we do our due diligence to make sure that everybody is safe. I'm just gonna step out real quick, okay? Do you recognize this at all? What's that? The slide? Do you know when you say like the slide? Do you know what that is? This your slide? If you don't know where was it for?
I thought it was also didn't put any of
Does he ever use any other one besides this one? Just that one? Do you know what's on the bottom of that slide? Do you know who that could belong to? Which one? Do you think that this blood is from him hitting like a particular part of their body or on their gut? What happened to the clothes that have blood on them? Like if they bled onto their clothes, what happened to those clothes?
You didn't get a chance to wash it. It's like,
So the clothes, they would still be in the room? If there were clothes that had blood on them, would it be safe? Would you say that, what do you think put the blood on those clothes? In your wounds? What type of, is this shoe hard or soft? It's hard. Have you ever seen the kids have an injury that would be big enough to cause this amount of blood? Do their butts do a lot? Mm-hmm. It's okay. And I appreciate your honesty. I really do. So I know this wasn't easy. But you made the choice to call and say, I want to talk and I want to tell you my truth. And I have a lot of respect for you for that. I really do. Because I know that wasn't easy for you. That's a good step in the right direction. You know what I mean?
One last question we got for you. Do you ever remember Larry doing anything with their hands in any way? Larry.
So besides them having to put the palm of their hands out, right? Remember when you said Sergio put his hands on you, he would use something to hit him? Does he do anything else with their hands at all?
Like maybe another type of punishment or anything?
What about their feet? No. I know those might seem like weird questions, but we just want to make sure we cover our bases and we get as much information as we can. You can, if you think of something else, you can always call me. It's like, hey, I thought of something else I want you to know. I'll come pick you up. We can talk again if you want, okay? When Larry would, you said Larry would hit you. Were the kids ever present when Larry hit you?
yeah, but they would be laying down. You make them lay down.
Yeah, so they weren't like watching. Listen, you don't deserve to be treated like that, and neither do your kids. Today's the first day of the rest of your life. You chose you, and you chose your kids today. Which is more than I think you've been doing recently. I understand it's out of fear, but you gotta understand today's the day that you chose to be a present mom. Okay? Today's the first day of the rest of your life. You don't deserve to be treated like that. No man has the right to treat you like that. It doesn't matter if father of your children. You have self-worth. Okay, you have a bright future. You want to go to be a medical assistant, that's huge. You're trying to make moves for you and your kids, We don't know what the future holds. Don't give up on your dreams. But today you chose. Okay? And you should be proud of that, alright? You really should. So there's gonna, because it's an investigation, and depending on what comes out of it, that's ultimately up to the state attorney's office as to who testifies or who doesn't or who's needed to testify. I can't make any promises that you wouldn't. There's a strong possibility that you would. So, but that's something that's way later on down the road, okay? So I just want to make sure that we kind of understand, how we got here today, okay? And Natasha is auntie. So what do you call her? Like your auntie too? Yeah.
Only auntie that I like with this, yeah.
Yeah. And then your sister Vanessa, they called me today and they said you would want to talk to me. And I originally went down there and you had said no, which is okay. And then I guess you called them and then they reached out to me and they said you wanted to talk. Is that correct? Mm-hmm. I do want to talk to you, okay? But I want to make sure, I know I read these to you the other day. They're your rights. I just want to make sure you still understand them, okay? So I'm going to go through them one by one with you. And we're just going to make sure, I'm going to have you initial again, okay? Either yes or no and say yes. And then we can, Okay. You have the right to remain silent. Do you understand?
Yes.
Good initial. Yes. Anything I'm gonna ask for you? Anything you say may be used against you in court. Do you understand? You are entitled to talk to a lawyer before and during questioning. Do you understand? If you cannot afford a lawyer and want one, one will be provided before and or during questioning without charge. Do you understand? Can you sign right here for me again, Bianca? It is 7/7/2022. The time is 9:07 p.m. Sign this too. So obviously, I'm investigating what happened to Sergio and the boys, and I was hoping that you could tell me, what happened to Sergio the other day.
I just caught him in a bathroom drinking water. And I thought him out of the bathroom. I was getting ready to use the bathroom. I saw him out the bathroom and I told him to go to the corner. His dad had jumped out of his sleep. And he stopped him from going. And he questioned him on what he was doing. And he punched him in his chest. Punched him in his chest like twice. And then when he came out of the bathroom, he stayed on the floor and I was screaming at him. I asked him what happened. And he said, "Don't get me thinking, okay." And he took into the bathroom and he turned on the shower. I guess like to get the water to like shock him to get like bait. And I have panicked and he walked right back out of the bathroom and he told me to call the ambulance.
Did you call 911, right? Did you see when you say who hit Sergio?
Yeah,
What's his name?
Larry.
Larry? Is that your boyfriend that you've been with a long time? Did you see him hit Sergio?
I seen him punch him with.
And how many times did he punch him?
That's twice.
Yeah.
And then he slapped him in his face. That was before the punches.
So he slapped him and then punched him, or punched him and then slapped him?
He slapped him and then he punched him. And then after one of the punches, after the second punch, Sergio fell backwards and he had like this sigh. And I started screaming, "What happened?" I started screaming, "What happened?" And he picked him up. He carried him to the bathroom and he turned on the shower. And as he was walking to the bathroom, he said that Sergio was fine. And came back out and called the ambulance. And I called the ambulance.
When you say when that Larry carried Sergio to the bathroom, how did he do that?
He came up from the floor and had anything else.
Do you remember how he was?
What do you mean?
How he was carrying him?
Like he had his two arms and he carried.
Was Sergio saying anything at this time? No. Was Sergio still awake? No.
I heard like a faint sigh come from him. And I left him in his room.
Where were all the other kids when this happened?
They were in the room, they were laying down.
Where were they all laying down at?
In the room, Daddy's sleeping.
And which one was that again? The one closest to the door or to the bathroom?
In the bathroom.
By the bathroom. Is this the first time you've ever seen Larry hit Sergio or any of his siblings?
No, he does it often.
Yeah, can you kind of tell me about that?
When they do stuff that he feels like it's like, and he feels like they're misbehaving, he hits them. And at times he definitely takes it too far. And he can be very abusive.
When you say he takes it too far and he's abusive, what does that mean to you?
It could be small things and he still have them. Like if they don't eat, like if they take their time eating, you know, make them mad and he'll hit them and like prevent them to eat. They feel bad, he will hit them.
Has he ever hit you?
Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit about that?
I try to say something about him being a kid. His hand on me.
What does that mean?
You know, like hit me. And they punch me.
About how many times do you think that's happened?
Couple. You know.
Any since you've come to Kissimmee?
Yes.
How many times?
And here.
Yeah, I can see it a little.
It's from being punched in my hand.
When did he do that?
At least, I don't know the exact date, but I know that I said something about him hitting my kids. He was the one in that position, and like it broke their skin. And I told him about this, and he got mad at me.
Is your hand, do you need medical attention for your hand?
It hurt me.
Is it okay if I look at it again? How long ago do you think that happened? Were you staying at the Knights Inn already, or were you at the other hotel?
The night thing and started at the hotel.
Yeah. Is that when everything started? And when did you move there again?
I believe it was late April.
It was late April. Had he ever used violence before you guys moved to the Knights Inn at the end of April? Have you ever become violent with you or hit you or?
Not like when we came up to Orlando, but living in our old house, he has really violent.
Have you ever seen him hit Sergio with anything other than a shoe in his hands?
At times we use both once.
What type of belt, do you know?
Goes to house the level and
How long ago, or how many times have you seen him hit with a belt? And was that down in West Palm or up here?
Here.
Up here? How long ago do you think? Do you know why he hit them or why he hit Serge with the belt? When he would hit him with the belt, would it ever leave any marks on the Serge?
Not really. They would hold a couple of lights.
Do you know where he would hit him with the belt? When he would hold his hands out, how would he hold his hands out? Palm side up? Have you seen him do that recently? Does he do that with any other kids? No. And when he would hold his hands out, what would Larry do to Serge's hands? Use a belt and hit him? Would it ever leave any marks on his hands or anything?
His hands will be like brave. No marks.
How long ago do you think the last time was that he did that or that you saw him do it?
Like over a month.
Over a month? It's gonna be pretty painful. Would Serge ever cry or
He rarely cried.
would Serge ever say anything when Larry was hitting him or disciplining him?
No.
Did he ever say anything? What about how does it make you feel to know if your kids got hurt. Did Larry ever express any remorse? Like, it makes you feel bad. Did Larry ever say how it made him feel?
Yeah. He always used to say that he has to stop and the limiting music. My friend saying he cried about it before. Like it always comes back to him not having his medicine. He needs to get his medicine.
Is he different when he's not on his medicine? Yeah. Would he ever do anything like this when he was on his medicine? No. Has he made any attempts to get his medicine?
Yeah, we called a few places, but our insurance they don't. It's like very hard to find those that takes that our insurance okay.
What insurance do you have?
It's called Mary Health.
Very Health. Do your kids have a pediatrician that they go to?
Janice Jones.
Janice Jones and Westmont. When was the last time they saw Dr. Jones?
They both September.
In September. Was everybody healthy then? No issues? Have any of the kids been to any doctor up here for any reason? Well, I'm just gonna step out real quick, okay?
You still go with your Pepsi?
Can you recognize the symbol? What's that? The slide? Do you know when you say like the slide? Do you know what that is? This your slide? If you don't know where was it for?
I thought it was it didn't fit and I was like,
Does he ever use any other one besides this one? Just that one? Do you know what's on the bottom of that slide? Do you know who that could belong to? Which one? Do you think that this blood is from him hitting like a particular part of their body or on their butt? What happened to the clothes that have blood on them? Like if they bled onto their clothes, what happened to those clothes?
We didn't get a chance to wash it.
So the clothes, they would still be in the room? If there were clothes that had blood on them, would it be safe? Would you say that? What do you think put the blood on those clothes? In your words. What type of is this shoe? Hard or soft? It's hard. Have you ever seen the kids have an injury that would be big enough to cause this amount of blood?
Blood?
Their butt? Do their butts a lot? And how long ago was that? And that was, did that only happen to one of the boys, or did it happen to Sergio? Have you ever seen blood anywhere? Excuse me, anywhere in the room? No, not in the areas of her. And when he would give the kids the whooping, did he do it no matter where he was, or did he have a particular area in the room he liked to do it?
No, you can read there. He was like, it's impossible in time.
Was it just on the bed he would do that, or was there anywhere else? When we went through the room, we found, you mentioned before that you own a gun. What type of gun was that? Was it like a full Draco? Like, was it just small? I don't know much about a Draco, so. A mini? How many guns do you own?
Just one.
Just one. Does Larry own any guns? No. If there were other guns in the room besides the mini Draco, which I should have found, where did you say it was at again? Closet. If there were any other guns in the room, were they yours? No. Is the mini Draco registered to you when you bought it? Do you know? I'm sorry, what? Do you know anything about a pistol in the room? No. Have you ever seen anybody with a pistol? Found a pistol in your room, so I was just wondering where that came from. What about if I found another rifle in the room that doesn't belong to you? Where do you think those could have come from? Have you ever seen Larry with either of those guns? No. Has he ever talked about owning any guns?
And he was waiting to turn 25 so he can use his license.
Why does he have to wait till he's 25?
When he was younger, he had gotten some child, I can't remember exactly what. And basically he wasn't able to possess until at that point.
Oh, he's like an adjudicated delinquent or whatever it's called.
Juvenile delinquent and village stuff like that. Also juvenile.
Oh, he's been charged with that before. Does it surprise you that there would be other guns in the room?
If there is, besides from one,
Has he ever touched your gun?
oh yeah.
Yeah. We're doing what?
So we haven't sold it.
When was that?
There.
Was that down in West Fall or up here? Has he touched your gun at all since he's been up here? Oh, does he know where you keep it?
Yeah.
The other two guns that I found in the room, your DNA or anything wouldn't be on it because you haven't touched those, right? No. Okay. Well, if I go get a couple more pictures, could you show me which ones? You were mentioning like the ones that kind of look like burns and things like that. Could you be able to tell me where some of those injuries are from? So let me go see if I can get some other pictures for you. Sorry, just got a couple more questions, okay? I think we're good on looking at some pictures. But I was wondering when I went and saw Sergio's day, because I did some. He had some bruising on the inside of his wrists that were pretty big and dark. You know what that could look from? Have you ever seen him, Larry, grab Sergio?
Yeah, I really like grass. I'm glad for my hand. Picking him up that day.
Do you know where he grabbed him when he picked him up that day?
It was like under arm.
I was just wondering. In Legend, when I saw Legend when we first met, he had some bruising on his face, like on his cheek and stuff. Do you know how he got those?
He the parental issues.
You don't know. What about the injury to his eye? He had that. He has like his eye, like a redness.
Yeah, going back to falling back.
It's okay. And I appreciate your honesty. I really do. I know this wasn't easy, but you made the choice to call and say, I want to talk and I want to tell you my truth. And I have a lot of respect for you for that. I really do. Because I know that wasn't easy for you. That's a good step in the right direction. You know what I mean? You could have chose to stay quiet and you didn't. It took you a couple days, but that's okay. You ultimately chose to love your kids and protect your kids, and that's important. Okay. Just hang tight. I'm gonna make sure I don't have anything else for you all to do, and then I'll get you back to the thing. Do you have any questions for me? It might take a little bit because you gotta get something to watch you out of jail, okay? But I know your family's working on it because when they called me earlier today, they said they were working on it. I don't know what working on it means, but that's what they did tell me. They were working on it. They were trying to get hold of bondsmen and stuff, okay?
One last question we got for you. Do you ever remember Larry doing anything with their hands at any point?
Larry.
Larry.
So besides them having to put the palm of their hands out, right? Remember when you said surgery goes hands on knee, he would use something to hit them? Does he do anything else with their hands at all?
Like maybe another type of punishment or anything?
Their hands. What about their feet? No. I know those might seem like weird questions, but we just want to make sure we cover our bases and we get as much information as we can. You can, if you think of something else, you can always call me. Be like, hey, I thought of something else I want you to know. I'll come pick you up. We can talk again if you want, okay? When Larry would, you said Larry would hit you. Were the kids ever present when Larry hit you?
Yeah, but they were laying down.
Yeah, so they weren't like watching. Listen, you don't deserve to be treated like that, and neither do your kids. Today's the first day of the rest of your life. You chose you, and you chose your kids today. Which is more than I think you've been doing recently. I understand it's out of fear, but you gotta understand today's the day that you chose to be a present mom. Okay? Today's the first day of the rest of your life. You don't deserve to be treated like that. No man has the right to treat you like that. It doesn't matter if you're the father of your children. You have self-worth. Okay, you have a bright future. You want to go to be a medical assistant? That's huge. You're trying to make moves for you and your kids, We don't know what the future holds. Don't give up on your dreams. But today you chose. Okay? And you should be proud of that, alright? You really should. Because you know what? As this goes forward, your kids are going to know that today you stood up for them. Okay? Those kids are going to know that today you put an end to it. You stopped it. And you said no more. You're going to fight for them. You're going to fight for you. They may not know it right now, right? But they're going to know, maybe when they get older or whatever, that today, Bianca Blaise Not only them, but herself. Okay?
Will I ever be able to get my children?
That's not up to me. I don't have the authority to make that decision, but the Department of Children and Families does look at things like this, you know. They have to do their own investigation and they're going to look at, you know, what is mom going to do? Can mom protect them? Things like that. But you actually met one of the investigators today. She came and spoke to you, and she's actually going to be handling the case. So you guys will be able to communicate with her throughout the whole process. It's not going to be a short process, okay? But don't give up hope. Okay? Remember, today's the first day. Okay? Don't ever let anybody else silence your voice, all right? Promise me that much. You promise?
Yes.
Just give me a few minutes, okay? Hey. Hold on. When was the last time that Larry hit you? How many? Week, 2 weeks, a couple days?
Probably a few days before it happened.
Yeah, do you remember what it was over?
So it's something about the kids and how he is going
And where did he hit you?
to put me in
In your hands, and that's what caused it?
I use my hands to block my face.
What was he trying to hit you with?
His hands.
Listen, you spoke up today, okay? I'm going to charge him. I'm going to fight for you, okay? And this is the first step. So I'm going to get you a domestic violence pamphlet. I'm going to get you something for Marcy's Law. And what that does is nobody can know that you were the victim of domestic violence, okay? I'm going to charge him with it, okay? Because nobody has the right to hit you, okay?
Okay.
Okay? It's okay. Hey. I'm going to fight for you, and I'm going to fight for your kids, okay? And this is going to be the first step. It may not seem like a lot, okay? But I'm charging. He's never going to put his hands on you again, okay? Or those kids.
The investigator makes a deliberate shift from gathering facts to offering validation, then hands Bianca a domestic violence pamphlet, explicitly naming the AB as a crime. For Bianca, this is the first time an authority figure has framed her partner's behavior as unequivocally wrong and promised to act. Psychologically, it is the moment when she begins to move from victim to survivor, when external validation breaks through years of self-doubt and fear, giving her permission to see herself as someone worthy of protection.
Okay? So, deep breath. Want to go to the bathroom and wash your face? Water on your face? Want a cold rag? Sure. Can you, if you tell me about, are there any other specific times that you remember where he's put his hands on you while you guys have been at the night sim?
This is like everybody. And I don't know if you like do it every time. Like, so.
Do you want medical attention for it? Do you need it?
No, it doesn't hurt you. But like when you punch,
He was trying to punch you when he hit your hand, right? Because you were trying to speak up for your kids.
I love trying to get information from like, but
Were you in the hotel room?
with stuff, yeah.
Were you in the hotel room when that happened? Are you okay if I try to take some other pictures of your hands to see if I can show the discoloration and all that? While we do that, partner and I are going to work on some paperwork because you can't. Can you, before that incident, a couple days before Serge got hurt, Serge passed away, do you remember any other incidences that stick out to you?
With me, I tried to not like say irritate him. He has
Today it ends. So I'm going to go get you that paperwork because I want to make sure that you understand that you have rights too, okay? These are different rights. Okay, these are going to be your rights as a victim of domestic violence, okay? So just give me a few minutes, all right?
Larry Rhodes Jr. was found guilty by a jury and subsequently sentenced in April 2025 to life in prison plus 35 years. Bianca Blaise pleaded guilty to manslaughter and 5 counts of child neglect.